Hey guys, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. How is everybody today? We need to just get right into things because we have a guest here with us today. The one and only Colin Hutzler. How excited are you guys? Welcome, Colin.
Thank you. I'm not sure I'm the one and only, though.
Well, okay, so I was being sarcastic
Thank you.
a
No,
little
I
bit
appreciate it. A little ego stroke at the beginning never hurt anyone.
because I was waiting for everyone to say, well, who is that? And you know what's
That's
happening
fair.
now.
Who is that?
You know, everyone in the world is now Googling you.
Ah,
But guys,
I
this
have to do that, too, to make sure it's...
Yeah, actually, you're like Googleable now.
Oh, good.
Like this is, you are a Bravo celebrity. You are on Bravo. You
Yeah.
are on the one and only Spy Games.
That's true.
So, yes, guys, there is a show on Bravo, and it's called Spy Games. Now, trust me, we're going to get into this.
Okay. I'm ready.
See, here's the thing here at Behind the Velvet Rope. We're very honest. So I'm going to get into – I have so much to say about Spy Games.
Great. I will share your honesty.
I literally – and I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually very good. But,
Right.
Just for everyone who doesn't know, Colin is one of the 10 contestants on the show Spy Games, which is currently on Bravo. So – we're going to get into whether I recommend it. Oh, we have a lot to get to. But I figured first let's talk about you for a few minutes. Tell me your story.
Great.
You kind of just like, so tell me, go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
All
the way?
Quickly, where were you born?
Sure.
We
Like a
to
Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, we like
Okay.
to, you don't have to give me in second grade you fell down and hurt yourself.
Right.
But
Or
where
time of birth.
Yeah,
we don't need that.
we can pass
Yeah,
on all
okay,
that. But
got
just
it.
where are you from? Are you from Alaska? Are you from local? Just tell us a little bit about
Alaska
your
sounds
background.
great, but
Doesn't that
sadly,
sound
no.
fun?
Originally from outside of Boston, born
Really?
and raised. Yep.
Okay.
But both of my parents were New Yorkers. So I was sort of raised a New Yorker in Boston, which made the high school experience tough being a Mets fan and a Giants fan.
So you grew up in Boston.
I did. I was in Boston until I was 21.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I went to college up in Maine.
Bowdoin, Bates.
One more. Keep going. What's the other one?
Bowdoin, Colby?
There it is.
See? Do you
Went to
see? Are
Colby.
you shocked I know my main colleges?
It's impressive.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I grew up between the Upper East Side and Connecticut. So,
Got
same
it.
type of thing. I
Yeah.
went to high school in Connecticut.
Okay.
Honestly, yes, it is.
Same idea.
It's all
Right.
the same thing.
Yeah, so it's small liberal arts college. Graduated.
We like Colby.
I loved Colby. I would do it again for sure.
You would?
Yeah.
And so you went there, anything there? Did you play sports?
Yeah,
Were
I
you in
was.
theater.
So in high school, I was soccer, basketball, track, and then continued soccer and track in
Okay.
college. I was pre-med with a child psychology major and a Chinese minor. So tried to do a little of everything as early as I could.
And you thought you might want to go to med school?
Med school was my plan. Actually,
I went to law school, believe it or
Did
not.
you?
That's a whole nother
that was
lifetime.
never my plan.
Well, you were smart.
My plan was actually to teach for 2 years and then go to med school. And I ended up teaching for 6 years and just enjoyed it way too much and couldn't imagine, first of all, not being in the classroom, but also 10 more years of schooling just seemed a little outlandish. And you have to really want it. And I didn't.
You taught
Chinese.
to high school?
Middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. Well, I don't know what the schools are like today, but when I grew up, you took French or Spanish.
Right. So I
no Chinese.
transferred schools in 8th grade and had to choose Spanish, French, or Chinese. And I decided that
Interesting.
A, everyone takes Spanish and French, so I'm going to do something different. And B, my brother had already started taking Chinese. So in my, brilliant 13-year-old mind, I was like, if we both speak Chinese, mom and dad will have no idea what we're saying. So we had our own little, secret code at home.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah. And it was great. We would play
Wow.
board games together. And,
Really?
Yeah.
So you
just
both
speak
spoke Chinese?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I think practically that is the right choice.
I do too.
I think business-wise.
Business-wise,
Chinese
definitely.
is-
Population-wise, sure. But I also think, academically, just in the way that it makes you think, because
Really?
the way that you learn it is so different. It's like this malleability of thinking
Huh.
that other languages, in my opinion, don't offer.
And it's just, I don't know. I could not, I know I'm older now, but I couldn't imagine learning Chinese. It seems literally impossible.
It's doable. You would have, I think, learning it from a non-native speaker helps. My first
Interesting.
Chinese teacher was Chinese, And we would have language barriers of my trying to figure out what she's saying in English as I learn Chinese. So when I was teaching, I understand where my students would get tripped up because it's where I got tripped up.
Interesting.
So I would have to find a roundabout to get them there.
Interesting. All right, so you did that. You taught for a bunch of years. And this is in Boston?
This was in New York. Yeah.
So you moved to New York right after you graduated.
I graduated and moved to New York like a month later.
I get it.
Yeah.
I went to law school and I was like, the minute I graduate, I will be moving to New York City.
Right.
There's like, it wasn't.
It was never my plan though.
Really?
I was like the ultimate country boy.
Really?
I
Did
grew
your
up,
parents
suburban Boston. Like I would spend weekends like hiking in my backyard and chasing turkeys around in the woods.
Really? Okay.
But then I went to school middle of nowhere in Maine.
Literally middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We had more moose than people. Meese?
Mice?
I don't think it's mice.
I don't think it's mice, but I don't know. Maine,
a lot of moose.
Maine would not be my first choice of a place.
Yeah, I've always been super outdoorsy.
Really?
But then I got my job offer in New York and decided if I don't do a big city now, I probably never will.
So that's how it came about. And how long ago did you graduate?
A long time.
Listen,
I have my 10-year coming up.
That was my nice way of trying to figure out approximately how old you are. But people try that on me all the time. And it doesn't work.
Well, what was your guess?
You were one of 10 years. Okay, so like 21, 31. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I could see you younger,
Great,
or like slightly older, but
Great.
not in a bad way.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate it.
Like, are you older than 35? No.
Okay.
So, but like if you told me you were 27, that wouldn't shock me either.
All right.
And also
that was really safe of you, by the way. Well played.
But like that's what I would have. But people try to ask me things like that all the time. I'm like, yeah, we're not even going there. But also, we're going to get into how you and I met, and so like I'm kind of using that as a gauge,
ballpark,
right? So like I don't even know if I'm the best judge of character. So you moved to New York right after you graduated. Now, did your parents always? Because we just talked about this in the waiting room. I'm like obsessed. Listen. My main obsession is Bravo.
Sure.
Real estate would probably be a close second.
Oh, interesting.
In fashion. I'm obsessed with real estate.
Okay.
So I'm like one of those people who, I also grew up here, like, you can, like, I know buildings. Like, you could say you live on we did this, I didn't know, but like, you could say you live on the corner of such and such. Like, I'd say, like, oh, that's 303.
Sure.
Like, I'm just that's how obsessed I am.
Okay.
So now, did your parents always have this West Village pad?
No, so that's like
when does that come?
New York family.
I'm just like, okay,
This
because you
is-
just hear like someone has something in the West Village. You're like,
so
I'm not putting you on blast.
No,
Like, we don't
no,
even talk
no.
about where it is or what it is, but I'm just like a place to stay in the West Village.
No, so my parents I was, from Boston.
And they're still there.
They're in North Carolina.
Okay.
And then I have sort of family friends. I'm sort of alone in the city.
Okay.
So this is my New York family.
Okay. I like it.
And everyone loves everyone. It's great.
And are you happy you live here?
I am. I'm always excited to leave, but then I'm always antsy to come back.
Totally.
New York kind of has this hold on me.
Totally. Like I travel a ton.
Yeah.
Like outside the U.S., I've been to 55 countries on all 7 continents.
That's amazing.
And that includes Antarctica, yes.
I have some catching up to do.
I'm like haven't you been in Africa?
I have.
I know that from watching Spy Games, which we're going to get into. Like,
okay. That's right. It did come up.
Yeah, like
You're right.
I've got so much to say about Spy Games. All right, so now you moved to New York and you teached, and then you don't teach anymore.
I don't. I left the school a few years ago.
Because, so my question is, what do you do now? Because according to your Instagram, you are a quote-unquote entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what the fuck does that mean?
It's sort of a great way to...
I know what an entrepreneur is,
Sure.
but like, are you like a millennial trying to figure yourself out?
No, so...
And why did you leave teaching? You just didn't want to go the long haul to get like a PhD and all that?
I definitely didn't want more school, at the time at least. And I'm not saying that a return to teaching is out of the question, but in that moment, I was done with it.
Okay. There's no judgment here.
No,
we're just
you're
trying
good.
to get to the bottom
I know.
of you.
So I'll backtrack a bit. And my mom was a preschool teacher for 25 years. So I grew up raising kids because I would end up babysitting her students and then see them through middle school into high school kind of thing. And I was just raised in a very, nurture-friendly environment where it was others before yourself. But at the same time, when I was in college, I also knew that my life as a teacher wouldn't really support me in the way that I wanted to live. Sad but true.
It's sad but true.
So
why do you think I went to law school?
Right.
Do you think I practiced corporate tax law? Do you think I wanted to do that?
Because you loved it so much.
Yeah, exactly. I needed to,
Yeah,
I
so
like my Gucci. But anyway.
So while I was in college, actually, my then and still best friend, we started teaching and learning how to trade stocks. And that was interesting and a very quick learning curve. And I've been doing it since. So it's been probably 12 or 13 years of, even while I was teaching, that's pretty much how I supported myself.
Okay.
I only do it for myself. I'll never do it full time. I'll never identify as a trader just because I think it's kind of gross. And
that's a whole nother life.
I don't like the connotation that comes with it. But that is, it's fun. It's a challenge. And, I have a few people that I talk about that with, but it's definitely not who I identify as. That's not who I think I am.
Right, totally. So you do
but
it
it's
on
how
your
I make
own.
it's how I make a living.
So that's how you make your living. All right, so that's what you mean by entrepreneur.
And then I've always had some like other gigs, like small business type ventures going on.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I used to practice law, then I had my own like staffing company. Like I've had a million careers. So like I've often called myself an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So I just, just curious.
Yeah.
Because, that's what came up on your Instagram. What else did I find from your Instagram?
Well, it's also sort of like the freedom and flexibility to say yes to projects as they come up, right? When I was teaching, I was all day, every day, teaching, coaching, tutoring, and then I ran summer camps for 6-7 years also. So it was very much around the clock all year long.
Right.
And I would get, emails and business stuff, and things would come up, and I just didn't have time.
Right.
And that's what it came down to when I decided to leave the school. I just want to control my schedule because I never have.
That makes sense. It's nice. It's nice to control your schedule.
Or to say yes to things like spy games.
Yes. Well, that's what we're going to get into that whole.
I was trying to toss you a meatball there.
No, right. You were trying to segue.
Lay it up.
No, and I appreciate that. Listen, sometimes we have guests on here and the segues aren't always so interesting. I'm like,
I'll leave it to you. People. You're the professional.
No. But listen, I appreciate a ball toss at any time. And what else did I notice from your Instagram? Katy Perry fan? Or just ran into Katy Perry somewhere?
I have a friend
Listen, Colin, I liked it. I
did your homework.
Yeah.
I have a friend that sings backup for
really?
Katy.
Okay.
Yeah, India is just one of the most phenomenal vocalists you'll ever hear. And I was in Paris with her and went to the Katy show.
I saw that. And then Alex Newell from the Glee Project in Glee,
one
who
of
is
my besties.
now really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Love
Who is
him.
in? I mean, there was only one episode that aired. But Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Incredible show.
I mean, I think there's only one episode out, but it was fucking great.
I would stay on it. Alex is a gem and the voice of our generation.
When I saw him in Jane Levy, the main character, she was in this show called Suburbia. You see all the useless TV knowledge I have?
I don't know why you say useless.
I guess it's not useless. Do you know that I watch so much TV, not even for this for work, just I love TV, that I have not been in a movie theater in a million years.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, I watch movies on planes. I have no time. But she was in this show called Suburbia, which was on ABC, which lasted phenomenal show.
Okay.
So I just saw your picture with Alex. How do you know Alex? From New York?
Yeah, I think we met through a mutual friend.
Really?
It's got to be 7 years.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Interesting. Yeah, the show looks great.
Yeah, it is.
And then, and I also saw your shirtless pictures, which is always nice. And you were in the Hamptons.
Sorry, Mom.
listen, you're keeping it classy. Listen, it's Instagram. We all have our shirtless pictures. I'm just telling you what stuck out.
You're right. They're out there.
In my mind. But, it's not like you.
It's there.
Listen, there are people on Instagram that 99.9% of their pictures are shirtless. You have your shirtless.
Sure.
You're in Gurney's. You're in the Hamptons. You're with KC. Do you see these are the 4 things that I took away.
You're picking up all the important
Hamptons,
stuff.
which really is my second favorite place in the world, second only to New York.
Okay.
Alex, because I'm okay, that's interesting. Katy Perry.
Yeah, she's great.
And the shirtless pictures.
Okay. So can I touch on that real quick?
Yes.
So
you can.
Great.
I mean, your mother's seen your Instagram, I'm sure.
No, she's not on social media.
Oh, she's better off for it.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
You're right. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
She tried Facebook briefly.
My mother's on Facebook, but she's not on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, we had
I try to explain to her, like, the gold is in the stories. Like, she asked me what I'm up
thank
to,
you.
and I'm like, you just...
Same. So
I'm
this
like,
is how it
just-
happened.
I said to my mother, if you...
Just follow me and watch the stories, because then you'll know.
Yes, you will know where I am.
But she prefers, like, you know,
I
the
know.
weekly call and check up and tell me what you've been doing. So we stick with that, which
Aren't
is
we
fine.
horrible? Like, it's horrible. Yes.
It's fine. She tried Facebook briefly.
It wasn't for her?
It wasn't for her.
Really?
And that's fine.
Listen,
That's fine.
my sister is not on, Facebook, or she's on no social media. and
Yeah.
I
It's
think,
my brother.
Really?
Zero.
Is your brother older or younger?
Older. Lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
In Boston?
DC.
And it's they live just fine. And I have a really good friend from high school. She's not on social media either. It's like it must be so freeing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for me. If I don't post an Instagram story, I start to hyperventilate.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you watch The Circle?
No, but what is that?
Oh,
Why do
man.
I know that?
On Netflix?
Is it that good?
It's like a social media.
Oh, is that like where
type.
those girls? I think I saw like a trailer for it.
Okay.
Is it like Mean Girls ish?
No,
Okay, then
I
I'm
don't
thinking.
think so.
I'm thinking of something different.
I was just on my bike at home, and that's what I
Really?
happened to flip on, and
Oh my god.
I hated how much I loved it.
No, listen, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's not like I start to, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, people are I mean, listen, I'm not self-important. Like, I'm nobody. Like, who am I? But yeah, I start to feel like people are waiting for the
I think
story.
there is a right way to use social media, though. Right? If you can use it to inspire or reach in a positive way, then
Yes.
by all means, yes.
Yes.
But I don't know that that's how most use it.
Listen, because I have a couple, like, I'm going to do a whole show
Yeah.
on just like online bullying, and like I have a lot. There's so much to say.
Look,
I have so much to say.
The psych degree in me and my time as like a mentor, coach, teacher, I am fully on your team of these kids don't understand what they're holding, right? This phone, this power in their
It's
pocket,
like-
they don't get it. And it's very toxic and it's dangerous.
It
And I've
is.
seen what it can do to the negative.
Yeah. And like if I wasn't like an older, well actualized person,
Right.
like I mean to me it's nothing. You could say anything about me. I mean people do.
Exactly.
I have a lot of lovers, but then
Yep.
like you mean come on.
You're not going to please everyone,
No.
but we can take that and say,
Could you imagine
"That's
if you
fine.
couldn't?"
That's fine, right? But these kids are not ready for that, and it's
They're
happening
not.
way too quickly and way too young.
I agree with that.
Yep.
All right, so that's a little bit about, let's get into it. So you're an entrepreneur, you're trading stocks, you're living in New York. Let's just get into it. How do you go about getting cast for Spy Games? Did you see an ad? Did someone come to you? And to that extent, were you applying for other reality shows at the same time?
Yeah, no, I heard from a casting director.
They reached out to you?
Yeah.
They just saw you?
We had a couple mutual friends. And
Anyone currently on Bravo?
No, she doesn't work.
Okay.
She doesn't work for a network.
Okay.
It's for the
Like the
casting.
casting
Yeah.
company, yeah.
And she reached out and said, I have this thing that just came across my desk, and I think you might be perfect for it. So I said, tell me about it. And she did. I was immediately in love.
Really?
Sent in,
What-
my little video. And
What attracted you to it? And why did she think you would be so good?
so
Because, listen, if
Yeah.
you're casting for, Summer House, I could see you on Summer House. If you're casting for a house, I don't know how you would, cast for Spy Games. What about your Instagram
Yeah.
screamed?
I
Spy
think it's a
Games.
combination of.
And wait. And
Yeah.
then, not to cut you off, should we just tell
As you cut me off.
Should we? Well, okay. Should we talk about? Okay, talk to me about casting, and then we're gonna tell everyone what Spy Games
Sure.
is for all the people that are not watching.
So the description that I got way up front was that it was an espionage-based challenge where if you have secrets, if you have hidden talents, if you have the ability to, convince people to trust you and have this sort of lifestyle that almost fits we'll go with the James Bond persona,
Yeah.
that it makes sense. And
I mean,
I have
you could
friends
look
that
like a
I have
James
friends that
Bond.
call me that.
Really?
Yeah, because I do a lot of, random, what I consider fun, can be thrill-seeking. And I'm also fairly private, so not everyone knows a ton about me.
I could see that about you.
thank you so
You
much.
seem. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't. There's a lot of questions I have after looking at your Instagram.
And
You seem-
Spy Games.
Yes.
Right? It's
like
kind
your
of,
overall IG, it leaves a lot of questions.
Yeah, and I love that. I think, in
I
general,
wish I was that way.
but not everyone deserves to know the real you. And
I
why
get
not
it.
save that for those that really, really matter?
I agree. I mean, listen, I put every move I make on Instagram, but in a way, it's not like the real. Well, you know what it is like? My Instagram profile is just this.
Right.
So I will never post like on a story. I will. You'll never see me being like with like I don't know. I only post things in the public eye.
Right.
Like if you're not in the public eye, I probably don't post it.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the real me. It's just a huge part of
That's
me.
all right.
Yeah. But yours
Hey,
is,
live your life.
I think yours is okay, so I get it. So that intrigued you. And I
Yeah.
can see you have a James Bond look to you.
Thank you.
So
and I grew
you're
up
like,
watching that. I watched, James Bond 24, those kinds of shows and movies. That's what got me. And honestly, that's why I ended up learning Chinese, because that
Interesting.
idea of CIA espionage was always fascinating to me.
So you sent this in, you did your video, you sent it into the
Yeah.
casting, and then what happened from like I've been on a reality show. I was on Millionaire Matchmaker way back. That's a whole nother
Okay.
story. So listen, I've been in the mix for so many
Yeah.
reality things. I almost had my own show at one point, so I get it. But like for everyone listening who doesn't, like, so what happened to you after that? Was it like immediate? Was there a lull?
Then there was a waiting game of
Yeah.
let's see if this actually is picked up.
Right.
Because before anything is picked up, you have to fill out a cast, and then they decide if this cast makes sense to create a show.
Right.
So we
And it wasn't even attached to Bravo at that point,
No,
probably. Right.
and then we just sort of waited.
I get that. You know how many reality shows I've been in the mix for? I was on Millionaire Matchmaker, but I've been in the mix for 1,000 shows, and I'm like, and they're like, oh no, this is picked up. It's attached to a major. I'm like, this is nothing, and then it doesn't. That's what people don't realize. It goes nowhere.
Right. And I've had, friends that are like, oh, you should do Survivor, you should do Amazing Race, you should all of these. And, when I was teaching, I couldn't do anything.
Right.
Because I had 0 days off ever.
And we're going to get into those because I actually have notes about Spy Games and Survivor and Amazing Race.
But
so
then
so did you hear right away, like?
No, it was a while.
But then did they film like a whole pilot to shop it around, or they just took a cast and shopped the cast around?
Yeah, it must
just,
have been,
curious.
Yeah, it must have been, I don't know, probably August or September that I was actually at a Mets game, and I got a phone call, and it was like, all right, we're doing this. It's happening.
And how much later was that?
Oh, I mean, I then flew out.
But like,
2
I mean,
weeks
like
later.
from when you sent the video, and was that like 9 months later, or like 2 weeks?
Probably closer to 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like, you sent the video in, and they're like, "Thank you.
We'll let
be
you
in
know."
touch."
Right.
And you went about.
And I'm not
going
going to say I forgot about it, because I definitely was like still thinking, I
Yeah.
hope this happens. But you kind of go on with life and think, all right, now it's feeling less likely.
9 months. Yes.
And then
I would think.
and then
that,
we're ready to go.
Really.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it
people.
happened
I mean,
really quickly.
That's how it works.
Really quickly.
That's what people don't
Yeah.
realize.
Hurry
like,
up and wait. That's the name of the
yes.
game.
100%. That's what I say.
Hurry up
And
and
then
wait.
like when you get that call, it's like, well, Colin's great, but like if you were like, people don't realize if you were, I don't know, my brother's wedding. That's
Yes.
it. There's
That's
Colin
it.
number 2.
Totally.
Like you would have been out.
Totally.
They don't give a fuck.
And it's, you know what, be ready to leave in 2 weeks.
I
and
tell people
figure it
this
all out.
all the time. I have friends that are in the mix, and I might be a new housewife. I'm like, sweetie, like, there's no negotiating. Like, you're either like, you are not a known person. You're either going to sign this contract,
Or someone else will.
right?
That's
And
it.
they don't. You might be the first choice, but get over yourself.
Yeah.
Really. We need to teach a course about how to get
Seriously.
cast in reality TV because
If you wanna do it, you
so
say
many
yes.
people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They say that. I mean, I could point to specific examples, and then they become so high maintenance, circling things in the contracts. I'm like, honey, good luck. It's not working.
It's funny because I showed the contract to my brother and a lawyer.
Right.
And they were like,
I'm sure they're like,
you can ask for changes,
yeah.
but that might mean that they just pick someone else.
They would have moved on. So 9 months, they're like, pack your bags, and you're like, this is amazing.
It's happening. Let's go.
And you're an entrepreneur, so you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Now, where'd you go?
We were outside of Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew that. So, okay, so here's what I need to say. So for everyone, I mean, you kind of gave an example. So first of all, guys, there's this show, Spy Games, on Bravo. I know I said that before. Here's my honest thing.
Yeah.
Would I ever in a million years have watched a show called Spy Games on Bravo? I would say no. This is listen. I'm being honest, but like, just let me finish my sentence.
I haven't said anything.
I know. Colin's looking at me
I'm
like,
just
okay,
waiting.
no, like I wouldn't have. Like I saw
Right,
the
that's fair.
trailers. I remember the trailers,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I mean, listen, I don't have a minute to go to the bathroom, so
Right.
I'm not watching the show. I don't understand what this show is about. I'm not sure. Take that. Then we met,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get into how we met in a few minutes. So then when we met. And Hannah Berner, who we're going to get into, told me that you were on Spy Games. I told you, I was like, let me check this out. Like, now I met you. I thought I would watch like half of an episode
Right.
just because you're on it. I have to say, it's fucking great.
It
I'm not
is.
just saying
It's entertaining.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, listen, I think it's very, I don't understand, and this is not a negative either. I don't understand how Bravo greenlit this show. It is so different for Bravo.
It's different. I think that's the perfect word for it.
And like, here's the thing. So like, guys, it's a competition show.
Right.
The only other competition, well, I guess they have Top Chef and they have Project Runway.
Right.
But it is truly a competition show in the likes of Survivor or Big Brother, where one person goes home every week. I doubt you watch the show, but there was this show called The Mole.
I know all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great show.
Yeah.
It was on ABC, hosted by Anderson Cooper at one point. And it was like, yeah, they would have like these contestants, and one person was the mole, and they were the saboteur. And then you had to like answer the questions at the end, and you had to answer them based on who you thought the mole was.
Yeah.
And then whoever had the most wrong questions went home.
Right.
It was a brilliant fucking show because like you, the audience, didn't know who the mole was.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly like that, but that's how this is.
Yeah, and I've heard
for
people
everyone listening.
commenting that
Really?
like this has mole-y kind of
Yes.
pieces to it.
So I went from I'm never going to watch this to I met you, and I was like, all right, I'll watch
Give it
this.
a
And
chance.
especially when I knew you were sitting down with me, I'm like, I got to watch at least one episode.
Yeah.
I literally am hooked, and I'm not just saying that. It's a really good fucking show.
They did a great job with it. Yeah.
They did really well.
Yeah.
And I have to say, so that's just the thing, guys. And you know what also? So there's like 3 judges, which this is where you're like, holy shit. Like the 3 judges, one of them is Secret Service, ex-Secret Service. One of them is ex-CIA. And one of them is ex-FBI.
FBI SWAT,
right. So
yeah.
it's like, for everyone listening to this right now, like that's
very legit.
It's
Yeah.
beyond legit.
And you stand in front of them and think like, wow, you protected the president and you infiltrated Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to prove myself to you.
Right. Like they're not
Yeah.
there to be fame whores. Like they're like one guy is talking about like I don't know if it was just an example, but he was saying like he was in some like third world country or really dangerous part of the world, and he was traveling to Europe because he had a few days off, and he realized he was being followed
With
and they
his
were really
girlfriend.
and there were
Yeah.
really bad guys. Like
Yeah.
this is not for TV, you
No,
guys.
Doug
This is
is-
like
Doug's the real deal.
real
He's
life
legit.
shit.
Right.
And you're like, holy shit. Right. And he's like, I'm with my girlfriend and these guys are bad. And now she's in danger and she doesn't know what I do for a living. And I'm just like, this is no joke.
Yeah. And we were trying to impress them. Not sure if we succeeded. And it was hard to toe the line between what they lived and what we were trying to do, because there was this sense of, we understand this is a game. We
Yes.
understand this is a TV show. And would I do things differently in real life? Absolutely. But at the same time, what do I have to do to convince these assessors that I'm here to win this game?
Yeah. Because, guys, also, we should note you win $100,000
Right.
for this. And I mean, right. And I mean, it's not even like you would know what to do. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do differently if I was boarding a flight and I was being followed by assassins.
Right.
I don't know. So I have to say, so far, I'm obsessed with Krista, the one who. So okay, here's the thing. Listen, I'm friends with housewives. So I got a colored past. I mean, not me myself, but I have a lot of characters in my life. So I have a friend who just got out of jail.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have a thing. Like I'm friends with like a lot of the Jersey housewives.
Yeah.
I'm like always obsessed with someone who's been in jail.
Yeah, we love.
I mean,
that.
I know.
We love the second chance.
So she's been in jail, right?
Yeah.
And like, listen, I would last in jail for maybe a minute. Probably 30 seconds for a lot of
Yeah.
reasons, and I don't know what would happen to me.
Yeah, that's a nightmare for me.
Yeah, so I have a friend who just got out of jail. She was in jail for 4 months. She says she didn't do anything. They say, what did they say? They said like identity theft. I don't ask questions. Listen, I'm like, you do you,
Yep.
I'll do me.
That's my favorite emoji.
Yeah,
The
like,
shrugging
you
man,
do you.
hands
Listen,
up.
Like,
I
if
don't
this
know.
is not affecting
Sorry.
me, do you?
Live your life.
So she just got out of jail, and
Okay.
she's like telling me all about it. So I mean, part of me, that's why I'm obsessed with this. Is it Christina or
Yeah,
Krista?
Christina. Yeah.
So she was in jail, and now she's like, I'm obsessed with her so
And
far.
she's great. And I think there's more of her story that you'll be learning soon.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so far, Nikita,
Nika.
I'm over.
Nika?
Nika,
Yep.
yes, I'm over her. She's annoying the fuck out of me.
Oh, I'm
Not
sorry
just
to hear
it's
that.
okay. She's in your alliance.
I love Nika. Yeah.
She's in your alliance. You see, guys, this is like she's okay. And the other creepy guy, the one who was kicked off Tinder. I mean, I don't know how you get kicked
George?
off Tinder. Yes.
Yeah. That was my roommate.
I don't know how you get kicked off Tinder, but it's like, and that's the other thing, guys. Everyone has a secret, and you have to figure out on the list what someone. It's really good.
It's interesting.
I hope it
is.
comes back for a second season.
I do
real.
too. I do too. And that was up front. My thought was, we've done a great job. And I think there are already things that people are saying, oh, what if you incorporate this?
Yeah.
And I'm hearing from people that are like, even like invested in the spy world and obsessed, like spy fans.
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, you should add this and you should twist with that.
Really?
And I think there's huge potential moving forward.
Huh.
Yeah. I would love to be
Interesting.
on the team that creates the challenges for season 2.
Yeah.
Having lived it, I think I would have a cool perspective of like,
It's
this would make it awesome.
I'm telling you, like I loved The Mole. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
thought about The Mole in like 10 years,
Yeah.
but this, I mean, I didn't even read anything online.
Flashbacks.
This reminds me of The Mole,
Yeah.
for real. So it's a good show. I think everyone should watch it. You won the first challenge.
Did.
We're only on episode 3, guys. So anyone who hasn't,
Episode 3, 4 is tomorrow.
yeah, 4 is tomorrow. So anyone
Monday
who hasn't
night.
watched this,
Easy catch up.
yeah, you could catch up easily. So that's how you were cast. How long were, like, with the filming? Like, was this, because I'm always curious, like when I was on Millionaire Matchmaker, it's different. I was on one episode. I was like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
It wasn't real time. Like, I mean, it was
Right.
much more condensed. Like,
Right.
how long was this whole thing?
Oh,
Like,
start to finish.
Like from the time you moved into the house, or like around, like for the whole show. You don't have
Right.
to say,
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
you say yours, then we can figure out when you were voted off. See,
No, I'm on to you.
I'm
come on.
but listen,
Come
I'm being
on.
honest. Like I
know.
don't want you to get in trouble with producers.
I also don't want to ruin the show for you.
I don't want you to either. So like the whole filming,
Yeah.
was it like 4
Start
just
to-
around?
Start to finish, we're looking like 5-6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, do you keep in touch with anyone from the show?
I do.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Any interhouse?
Can I tell you about that
Yeah.
next time?
Yeah.
I want you to see how it plays out before I spill.
Okay.
Is that all right?
I was gonna ask if there were any inter-house hookups.
I want to let you see how it plays
okay,
out.
so all this is gonna play out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
We're only on episode 4.
we are. Well, that's the thing. Like, so then when I started watching and I knew I was meeting you, I was like, oh, I just don't have the time to get through this. Then when I saw there was only 3 episodes, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna watch all 3 of them.
And it's, an 8-episode season, so
Oh, it is?
we're almost halfway
Oh.
there.
Oh, cool. I just figured it was 10 because there's 10 in there,
Right.
but that makes sense. So, okay, so this is on Bravo. Now let's get into some other very exciting stuff, which I find this is really
This
where
is
my
your
mind-
excitement.
I am.
Yeah.
So listen, but I really am. Like, I'm not
No,
kissing grass.
I
I
can't
love
wait.
spy games.
Okay.
Okay, so how we met. So
Yeah.
I was at Watch What Happens the night. So I mean, listen, Vanderpump Rules is probably my favorite show on all of Bravo. So when the Vander kids come to town, I need to attend.
I like Vander
things.
kids. That's
Do you
cute.
like that? I always
Yeah,
say that.
It's cute.
So this night at Watch What Happens was, I forgot who the other guest was, but it was Scheana with
Mm-hmm.
somebody. I don't know who the other guest was. I can't remember. But it doesn't really, I know, I can't. Was it June Diane Raphael? I think it was June Diane Raphael from Grace and Frankie.
Yes,
I'm pretty
you're right,
sure.
you're right.
Yes.
100%.
I happen to love the show Grace
Yeah.
and Frankie too. If you've never watched it, Jane Fonda is like 80 something. Like Google her after, like
Killing it.
killing it.
Killing it.
So, I mean, I love June, had to go for Scheana. So, of course, what I do after a screening of Watch What Happens, I need to get, wait outside, get my picture. So,
Say
like,
hey. Sure.
there's June, there's Scheana, whatever. Like, Scheana was with her man.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of that is expected. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I see, like, you know how in those cartoons when someone comes out and there's like a rainbow or something around
I do.
them? I see one of the brightest lights.
Oh, who was it?
Miss Hannah Burner.
Ah.
Oh, I'm like obsessed with Hannah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're friends. Like I love Hannah. We've done podcasting together. Hannah is. Listen, the heart wants what the heart wants. I'm very honest. My favorite Summer House cast member is by far Hannah.
Okay.
Love them all. Know them all.
Yeah.
I just have a thing with Hannah. So I saw this vision, the surprise vision, come out, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Did you hear
here?
like the angels in the background?
I
too?
did.
Like,
I did.
Yeah,
This is like,
that's amazing.
listen, I'm here for Scheana, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Scheana and a Hannah.
+1.
Right. Like this is a big night.
Yeah.
So, and then Hannah's like, "Oh, I've been hanging out with," and listen, I don't want your picture at that point. I was like,
No,
"Okay, whatever."
Thank you for not wanting it.
But she was like, I'm like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "I've been hanging out with Scheana," and I'm like, "Are you?" I love a Bravo crossover.
Great.
And then she's like, "This is Colin. He's on Spy Games." All of a sudden, I went from being like, "I don't know who you are," to like, "Hey,
Oh my God,
let's
let's be
talk."
right.
Do you see how awful I am? Like, you're a nice
That's
person.
great.
Like, you teach. You don't want to be known as I'm a horrible person.
No.
Seriously,
Hey, you know what though?
I'm being honest.
Accepting it and self-awareness to me is
I think
like
so.
the most attractive thing. Don't pretend.
I am
That's it. Know who you are.
I am 100%
Yeah.
self-aware.
Know who you are.
Like when I go to things like, okay, last night I was at a fashion show for New York Fashion Week,
Yeah.
and like my friend was like, "You can't get." I'm like, first of all, I know how to behave myself. I'm like, I'm gonna get pictures with I mean, if it doesn't work out, but I'm like, what do you mean I can't? Like, I'm dying for a picture of this person. They're 3 feet away
I
from me.
absolutely can.
Stand by.
Watch
I'm
me.
right. And then he's like, "Oh, well.
Cue the music. Here we go.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't interested in saying hi to you, but then
Yeah.
when I hear you're on Spy Games, I'm like,
Well,
oh,
now you have something to talk about.
now you're here. So let's just back it up. So you know Scheana, or you know Hannah, or you knew both before that night?
I met Hannah that night.
You met Hannah. See, I had your whole backstory wrong. I thought you were friends with Hannah because you live in New York. and
As
so
of
does
that
she.
night, I was.
Right.
Before that, I was not.
So you were there because of Scheana.
I was there with Scheana. Yeah.
Now, just everyone has just paused
Pump the
listening
brakes.
because they can't believe this. Okay, back up.
Okay.
Where did you meet Scheana?
I met Scheana.
This is like there's nothing you've said this whole time that interests me as much as this question.
All right. I hope it doesn't let you down.
No, you could tell me you met her. It doesn't matter where. I'm just so curious.
We actually met in Vegas.
That makes sense. Was it
I
when
think
she was
so.
she was doing the show?
So she was doing her show Sex Tips.
Yes.
And her
one of my biggest regrets in life is that because she had a nice meet and greet after the show, is that I didn't go to. I travel all around for this shit. Just FYI.
and you missed that show?
I just, yeah.
Okay.
I never.
You gotta
Yeah. Like I know.
rethink some life choices.
I need to
It was incredible.
I mean, so I saw the show in New York with no stunt casting,
Sure.
so I never saw Scheana in the show.
Yeah.
But if she were to do the show again, I would be there.
Yeah, she was
opening
amazing.
night.
Anyway, so her co-star, Chester, was a good friend, and I was out there with another friend from LA, and we're like, oh, we got to go see Chester. And then after the show, Chester introduced me to Scheana, and that was, I don't know, probably 3-ish years ago.
Okay, so your friend was her co-star. You
Yeah,
went to
so I
see
ended up
it.
hanging out with her for the weekend, and here we are.
And hanging out with her for the weekend. Would you like to elaborate on that?
So I told her, and she still thinks it's funny, I didn't know what Vanderpump was before I met her. And then we were hanging out by the pool, and someone came by and was like, oh, I'm such a big fan. And I was kind of like, of what?
Okay.
And that was a bad moment for me.
So
Not
now
thrilled.
at this point, so you didn't watch any Bravo at this, which is fine. You don't have to watch any Bravo.
At that point?
Yeah.
No. But now I'm like immersed in it.
So at that point, and you had no idea what Vanderpump Rules was.
No.
But this is why she probably liked that.
Yeah, because we could just
Yeah.
be real and
Like
hang
you were
out.
treating her
and
like a normal person.
Totally.
I mean, she's
And
a
even,
normal
like,
person.
question
This isn't
it. Yeah, of course.
Madonna or Cher over here.
Right. But they're normal people too.
Yes, they
To-
are.
to
No,
someone-
they are.
to someone, they are
yeah.
normal. Yeah.
Well, Madonna's kids want nothing to do with her. They want to be out all night. So it's
Right.
Right. I mean, this is the way the world works.
Yeah.
I mean, they do want something to do with her, but you get what I'm saying.
Sure. So yeah, we hung out in Vegas, and then whenever I'm in LA, whenever she's in New York, we
And hung
always
out.
catch up.
You had your own room. She had her own room. Anything you'd like to
I
elaborate
think we were
on?
at different hotels.
Was there any kissing?
I think we were at different hotels.
It's okay. You don't have to answer. And that really does raise a point. Like this is because really, you're not going to answer this question.
You're very perceptive.
Yeah. No, I Colin, before we even said
I
that,
love Scheana. I love Brock. I mean, they're great.
Well, I mean, okay, so we don't know what happened with you and Scheana, but
No.
you guys kind of
We're friends.
Guys, you need to go. Well, first of all, everyone's going to go on your Instagram after this interview. Like, you and Scheana, looks-wise, are a good fit.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, here's another question you're definitely not going to answer.
Oh, great. Let's hear it.
Well, I was going to say, forget about Scheana. Like, what is your type?
Drama-free, first and foremost.
Okay, well,
Does that
not
help?
that's not Scheana.
Well,
Here's my other question.
Honestly,
I mean,
think
listen,
it is.
and don't like. Here's what
I think it is.
Listen, I think she's less drama. I mean, listen, I like don't know Scheana that well.
Right.
Now, is your type a male?
I watched,
is it a female?
It's a female.
Okay. I mean, listen, I assumed you were straight, but you never assumed.
No, you're right. I don't know why I laughed at that because the question comes up all the time.
I'm sure. I mean, I was 99% sure.
That's fine.
Yeah, like don't take.
But I'm also like,
believe it or not, 1% of the literally 0.01. Sometimes I know this is shocking. Believe it or not.
No, they don't.
0.01%. Yes. Not in New York, not like, but also that's very liberating. Do you know how great that is? Like that you just don't even have to like bring that up when you meet someone. Like, I mean, just like friends.
You're right. I do have to address it all the time.
Sometimes, yeah, when I'm like in the middle of nowhere.
Right. In
and
Kansas.
People don't ask me, but yes. Because I travel for this stuff.
Right.
So if like Scheana has an appearance in Kansas and I'm free, I will like literally, I'm like you, I have my schedule's my own.
Yeah.
So I could be like in Kansas on a Tuesday. Sometimes when I go to these random places, someone is like, oh, well, she's cute or something. It's
right.
0.0001%. But thank you for answering.
I also have a lot of friends that
I
are
assumed
like
you were straight.
very
I did.
gay, and I don't care. It's not an
you're
I don't.
liberal.
It's not an I don't care because I do care about them and who they are and want to be and project.
Yeah.
But if you're a good person, I'll be friends with you.
Yeah.
That part I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Live your life. It costs $0 to respect someone for something that's different than you.
Exactly.
So move on. That doesn't bother me.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Okay, so I assumed you were straight, so that makes sense. So you knew Scheana, so then you don't have to answer what happened with you and Scheana. But you guys do look like you'd go well together. So then when she came to New York, like she was just like, come to the clubhouse with me.
Yeah.
Especially you're on Bravo now.
Right.
Come
yeah,
on
we've
along.
obviously hung out a lot since then, both in New York and in LA. And she actually came to the Spy Games premiere party with me.
Okay.
The night
and that
before.
was in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hosted that. So she came
Where
to
was that?
And then I hosted downtown.
Oh, cool.
And then she came after that. She was like, oh, I'm on Watch What Happens Live. You should come tomorrow. I was like, all right, let's do it. Tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't remember.
And you're like, okay, that's
I was like, all right, great, let's do it. And she actually we had cookies made with one had the Bravo logo and one had my face on it. And she brought those and gave them to Andy.
I love it.
And I walked in and Andy was standing there eating my face.
Really?
So that was our first.
And was he like, hey, you're on Spy Games?
That was our first moment.
That's a good moment.
It was
to
a
have
good
with
moment.
Andy.
I had run into him out in the Hamptons before. He wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
But now that he was eating my face, I think
he
we'll
might
that.
remember you.
He might.
So you. I mean, listen. I choose the Hamptons over Fire Island. There's no question. You're a Hamptons boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I do love Fire Island.
You do? Because I don't have any interest.
I say I love it.
None.
I've been there once, and it was for a soccer tournament. So I didn't really jump into Fire Island culture.
It's different.
But it's very different. I think I would get bored there after 4 days.
It's
different. Charming. I love the ride your bike around on the rickety boardwalk. But then what?
Do you have a favorite Hamptons?
More. I'm a sucker for Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I also love
Piers
SAG.
for brunch.
I love Sag Harbor.
By far. SAG is my number one.
Yeah.
Absolute number one. I love it. But Bridge, that's conveniently located. Piers.
And it is. It's the location for me. And the drive to Montauk, I love.
SAG is literally the place I would buy a house. Yeah. I'm all about SAG. So now let's just take a minute. Scheana, just for a minute, listen, we talked about a lot of other things. But Spy Games, I'm giving a huge shout out to Spy Games. I am doing right by it because it really is really great. Scheana, now have you met any of the other Evander kids?
Yeah, a couple times out in LA.
You don't even remember which ones. It's okay.
I don't.
It's okay.
Am I the worst?
Summer House? No.
I'm the worst.
No.
Okay,
that makes you a nice, normal person.
Oh.
You're not a star fucker.
No.
I like that.
Yeah.
Listen, believe it or not, I prefer my friends to be non-star fuckers.
Yeah.
I do. There's something.
I'll happily join
There's
that
something
list. Yeah.
even Yeah, like even like when I date, like I just like it's it's nice to have like a different world out there.
It's also charming, I think, to be like, I don't really care who you are.
Very charming. That's how the world should work.
Totally.
Now in New York and LA, it doesn't work that way most of the time, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't.
Right.
Okay, so now you're on Bravo. You don't have to like say yes, but like, do you watch any other shows? Or you're getting into?
I've been getting into them. Yeah, I think Below Deck is hilarious.
Well, that first of all, it's funny. Below Deck is like not as buzzy as all these other Bravo shows, but the ratings are like bigger. Killing it.
Amazing.
So it's like
great,
this weird.
Though. I understand the intrigue.
Killing it. And you know what's really funny is when they do the demographics.
Yeah.
99% of the time, Below Deck is what the straight guys go to.
Really?
That's the straight guys show on Bravo. I love it too, but I'm just saying, like, if there is a straight man, that is one of the higher rated shows. But see, Spy Games is probably bringing in a straight audience.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know what
I'm telling you, Below Deck is
are.
what the straights go to.
And I put Vanderpump on every now and then send Scheana a picture of it.
Well, believe it or not, you did this. No, believe it or not, a lot of the straight guys say Vanderpump also.
Yeah.
And I'm just assuming, I'm not sure, but I assume Summer House is another one.
Okay. I have to catch up on that.
I have to catch up on Vanderpump this season. I haven't watched a single episode, but
I watched the new one with Scheana. That was great.
Well, you know what they say? They say that Scheana is the glue that's holding it all together because she is the one liaison between the new and the old.
It's my girl.
Yeah.
Get him,
like,
Scheana.
Scheana is like, somehow this season, even though I haven't watched, the buzz is Scheana is the glue that is holding the two worlds together.
On screen and off screen. She's just a gem.
I love her. We will have to hang with her the next time she's here.
Done.
Let me see other Bravo celebrities. I'm just thinking, what else can I ask you? Well, here are a couple things. So now you hang out with Scheana, you go out to a bar. Obviously, everyone is like, oh my God, that's Scheana. Yeah. Has any of that started happening to you? It's only been 3 episodes.
It's only been 3 episodes.
Because, it takes a minute.
Yeah, and only a couple times. And it's usually when it's like at the clubhouse.
Yes.
For Watch What Happens Live, because that was like a day or two after Spy Games aired. But it hasn't like infiltrated.
Does anyone else from Spy Games live in New York?
No.
I don't think so.
None.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And now
some Florida, a bunch of California.
Really?
Yeah.
And now listen, were you a fan of like Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother? It's a little different.
So I had
Big Brother is literally one of my favorite shows.
I had a buddy that won Big Brother way back when. Hayden Moss. Yeah.
That name sounds familiar.
And I grew up watching Survivor. That was like our family's first intro to reality TV.
Is Hayden from Boston?
LA.
It's okay. So I'm thinking of 2 different people. Is he like the surfer dude?
Yeah.
With like blonde hair who got the girlfriend from the show?
Don't know that piece.
Huh. Yeah. There was one really hot blonde with like longer hair.
That's not him.
Okay.
Unless it used to be
long and blonde. No, I have a feeling it's this other guy. Okay. Yeah. So that's major, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever go? So your whole family loved Survivor.
That was like.
Did you ever meet Boston Rob?
No.
That's a legend.
He's a legend. Survivor
legend.
That's a legend. Yeah.
This season, he was on again. Him and Sandra.
I saw that. They did like only winners returned, right?
Yeah. Well, like no. They were like advisors. It's a brilliant idea. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what I was saying I want to do with Spy Games if it moves forward.
It was like they weren't like they had accommodations.
Right.
Like I don't know where they stayed when they didn't film, but they weren't like starving
on the beach, right? Trying to save rice.
It was like when you were voted off to that like Xi Island, you would show up, and then Boston Rob and Sandra would come on. People would go crazy.
That's so cool.
Boston Rob is my one. Him and Jerry Manthe from way back in Australia. Okay. Boston Rob is like one of the best Survivor players in history. See, I like Survivor.
Yeah,
I do too. An Amazing Race is a great show too.
I agree.
But if I could go on any of them, it would be Big Brother.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I couldn't do that.
I
don't think I could.
It's the least bang for your buck because you have to stay in the house for 3 months to win 500 versus 31 days.
Yeah, but 500 that's a larger figure.
But yes. Yes. But you can go on Survivor for 30 days and win $1 million. That's like a better.
Understood. Totally.
And The Amazing Race, I don't know. I think I would literally have a heart attack.
You know what I like about Amazing Race?
Yeah,
though?
it's great.
It's that it's not judgment based. It's just if you win, you win.
Right. It's
Right?
less of, I mean, like there's some alliances.
Sure.
I guess like you can roadblock the people.
Sure.
But yes.
But if you finish that challenge first,
yes.
you're safe.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to impress someone else. You're not working with or against the other cast. It's
Totally.
just I need to win.
I think
like
the thing
that.
too, the thing with Amazing Race is, because I've thought, like, you really have to pick your right partner.
Yeah.
Because, like, the thing is, I wouldn't want to do all of the quick things,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also very competitive. So, like, if you were my partner and you wanted to go the long route because you were scared of this, well, I'm scared of this too, but let's just fucking do
let's
it.
do it, totally.
So, think about it, though. A lot of people would be like, I can't skydive. I have no interest in skydiving, don't get me wrong.
But you would do it.
If I was on The Amazing Race, I would do it.
we would do it.
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
would do.
Oh, we're going skydiving to win the Amazing Race. Yes?
I would do.
Okay, great.
Yes. If we need to apply to The
Okay,
Amazing
I'm in.
Race. We might get on it.
Yeah.
Gay, straight. That's like a whole
That's
vibe.
interesting.
New York. Yeah.
Right?
We could brand ourselves as reality TV something. Listen. This is how it would be a good show to go on. And I would do Survivor too. I don't know if I would do great in all the challenges, but the social game.
Yeah.
I would go on Spy Games too. It's so interesting to me.
I mean,
I'm a lawyer, so I like that girl. What was her name? That blonde
Chelsea?
girl. Yeah, like when she's talking about law. Like, listen, it's kind of like what you said about Chinese law school teaches you to think a certain way.
the interesting piece there is though, like,
I
would, try to sleep and you would never know if you're going to get woken up and thrown outside for a mission.
Yeah.
Right. You're trying to figure out who's lying to you this entire time. And should I lie back in an effort to...
This is totally like The Mole. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean like...
It's twisted. It's kind of like PTSD.
Yeah.
In the moment. Like very live action PTSD.
So you're there in the house
Yeah.
and the whole time you were literally thinking like, who's lying to me?
Absolutely. And who's out to get me and who's saying what about me and convincing someone else. I mean, even after the show ended, when I was home,
Yes.
I would wake up and be like, oh my God, is the camera on me? Is my mic on? Who's listening? What are they saying? That
Really?
lasted for a while after the show did.
Well, in Survivor, I think Big Brother too, in Survivor, you go to a psychologist
Totally.
right
and
after.
I understand why.
I understand why.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I understand why. I mean, for different reasons,
Sure.
like Big Brother, but I think you go right to the psychologist before
Get
you
some
go.
clearance, for sure.
Yeah,
Let's
in
talk
Survivor,
through this.
when you go to the jury room and there's food for you, I
Yeah.
think you go maybe that first, but you get your food, but then you go right to the
Right.
psychologist.
Yeah.
To like,
It makes
interesting.
sense. Yeah.
So then afterwards, I guess, yeah, because everyone was really out there to lie.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then you have your return to normal life, and you're not. You can't tell anyone where you were for the last month or so.
Right.
Nobody knew.
So but did your parents know?
I mean, they knew I was off doing a project.
So you can't even tell like your parents?
No, I told no one.
Huh. I mean, I get it. I just wonder how like a normal person with a normal job handles
I think it's
it.
hard to do that. I'm not sure.
I mean, like I could pick up and go too.
Right.
But how would like if you had like if you were still a teacher?
I would have said no. I wouldn't be allowed
Yeah.
to. The hard part for me is that I had just had surgery like 6 weeks before.
Oh yeah, you said so. So what are you doing?
It was so bad.
Oh wait.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's get into your surgery, and then I need to talk to you about your comment when we first sat down. You don't drink. You don't drink alcohol.
No.
You're such a good boy.
I've had like 2 cups of coffee in my
I'm not
life
hitting
too.
on you. I mean, but like you are.
I mean, there's rationale for all
You're
of it.
such a good boy.
There's rationale for all of it.
Health reasons.
That's part of it.
You know that I only drink vodka, and technically
That's so
is-
healthy of you.
No, for sugar, that is the best thing to drink.
Sure.
Like if you're trying to stay
Yeah.
fit.
Okay, so let me.
And I drink just straight vodka. FYI. No, I mean
classy.
Yeah, a nice martini. James Bond. See.
Hello.
Here's the
Shaken?
thing.
Shaken or stirred?
Grey Goose, shaken.
How dirty?
Not at all. I hate.
wow.
I despise
Oh,
olives.
see, I just eat the olives.
Most people there's something
I
about
will go
olives.
up to the bar and ask for an
Yeah.
olive. Just an olive.
I'll get olives on the side
Great,
for you.
perfect.
So I like just the Grey Goose
Yeah.
in the martini glass, chilled with just a lime twist. And if
Okay.
you don't have a lime twist, I can do a
I'll
lemon
deal,
twist.
but
But you don't drink at all.
no. So I kind of
Really?
I grew up. Look, athletics have always been like a focus for me.
I could see that.
And I was tiny as a kid. Like physically,
Really?
I was 5'3", 5'5"
Wow, you weren't
as
tall.
like a sophomore in high school.
Really?
And I was like,
Did you get picked on?
Um,
I was a fat child, and
was
I got
like,
picked on.
I probably weighed like 74 pounds. So was I
Really?
picked on? No, because I was athletic enough to make the team
Okay.
and to get by, but I was never going to be the star. And I decided like
Interesting.
I have to do everything I can to gain whatever advantage I can. So I'm going to be really good to my body. So I didn't drink. I didn't do coffee. I worked
my
out
God.
as I could. And then when I was like 18, 19, I grew
How tall are you now? Yeah.
6 feet. And
Oh my
like all of a
God.
sudden I was able to put on muscle and like it all just
Did
happened
you always
very
want to
late.
be taller?
I mean, athletically, yes. For very athletic reasons, of course.
Yeah.
So I always just tried to like, one body, that's your temple, take care of it and it will do you well.
Interesting.
So in a lot of ways it has, and I try to take care of myself, but I've also been through like, five surgeries.
Yeah, like
a
what
few-
surgery did you have?
I've had 2 ACL reconstructions, another knee reconstruction, and 2 spine surgeries. And
All from
those
athletics?
are yeah. And the
Really?
spine surgeries are like
That doesn't sound
rule 1 of
easy.
spine surgery is don't. And I
No.
woke up one morning and I couldn't move, like waist down, and it was the most intense pain. And I was sort of like rushed into emergency surgery, had to relearn how to like walk so that I could
Really?
rewire my system and then be able to run again.
This was what, like in high school?
And this was 6
2 weeks.
weeks,
Are you
6 weeks before leaving for Spy Games.
Oh my God.
So I rushed through rehab. We filmed, did everything I could to, do some PT, manage it, come home, and then I finished my true PT. And then I was in
Wow.
Mexico City playing soccer last summer
Interesting.
to finish the.
And I'm
full
sure
circle,
the
yeah.
people were like, you can't go to Spy Games, and you're like, I'm going.
I was like, watch, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll do it. And I had, the surgeon was amazing, the physical therapist was amazing, everything. And, I'm very disciplined, and we did it
Interesting.
twice a day if needed, and
And
made
do you
it happen.
eat healthy too?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I like eat healthy most of the time, and then I don't.
Yeah,
Does
but
that
see,
make
that
sense?
started for me when I was like 15, 16.
Not me.
So because it started so young, it just became a way of life. Like I don't even have to think about it anymore. So it's not a struggle.
So you're not, well, you don't drink, so it's
Right.
different. But you're not home and it's cold out and you're staying in for the night and you are like, I'm going to order a large pizza and eat basically the
So
whole
I
thing.
haven't done dairy in
Oh
like
my God.
10 years.
No Chinese General Tso's.
No. I lived in China, so I understand what
Yeah.
true Chinese is.
I
it's not
honestly,
that.
I honestly eat healthy. Yeah, the food in China
And
is actually.
I love pizza. I just do it without
Oh my
cheese.
God. I mean,
And
I
then
eat
you can
healthy,
eat the whole
but then I
thing and
don't.
feel great.
I don't. I eat very healthy, and then
Yeah.
I don't. Like I'm
The
in
Italian
between.
in me is like,
I-
how can
well,
you get a pizza
I was gonna
without
ask
cheese?
you that when we
But
started too. You're
yeah.
Italian. Oh.
Yeah.
I would
My
have said
grandmother.
Jewish.
Also Jewish.
Well, Hutzler is Jewish, right?
German.
Oh,
My mom's
German
Jewish.
Jewish,
My
right?
dad's German.
yeah. My
His
parents
mom
are
was
Jewish.
Italian. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not religious, but
Yeah,
I just
I'm
thought
not
your
either.
name was. You look like you're Jewish or Italian.
Mazel tov.
Yes, exactly. And then, okay, I asked you about if you're being recognized now. And then I guess the last question is like, so what now? Like, what do you want? I mean, and you could ask, first of all, is there anything else you'd like to talk about that we haven't covered? Because we can talk about
man.
anything you want. This is a safe zone.
It's a safe
This
zone.
is a safe zone here.
I feel safe. Thank you.
We
for
talked
creating
about
that.
Scheana. I knew you wouldn't answer. Thank you for clarifying whether you were gay or straight.
Yeah.
We gave shout outs to Spy Games.
We did.
You're friendly with Hannah now.
Yeah. I have to see her stand up. I told her I don't even.
Oh, it's so funny. Okay,
I don't
so
even
do you want to go
love-
with me? Because
Yeah.
I think
No, let's do that.
I've seen it. Like, listen,
I don't even love stand up, and I've watched some of her stuff, and she's actually funny.
Okay, we're gonna go. It's
Yeah, we
like
gotta go.
I'm not even kidding. Because
Yeah.
when I saw her, not that night, but I've seen her since then.
Mm-hmm.
Because last week when Summer House came back, there was all that. So when I saw her, she's like, "Are you coming to my next show?" And I'm like, "What show?" Because
Yeah.
listen, it's hard to know what's going on
Totally.
every minute. She's like, "Just go on my Instagram," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, whatever day it is, we'll
Yeah.
go. Because
Okay.
I've seen her before.
You have to be responsible for that because I'm not great at Instagram.
I will do it all. I will pull it up.
I
Trust
try to
me.
like
This
limit
is
my
what
time.
I do.
I'm talking like give me like 20, 30 minutes a day. But I also,
That's-
those that I need to know, like
Yeah.
text me and tell me what's up.
Yeah.
I'll
I try
scroll
to-
through every now and then because I do like to be
No, I will do.
in the circle
I already
and
saw it, and
informed,
like I
but-
looked at the date, and I was like, I don't know if I'm booked this date. Whatever
yeah.
date it was, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you. And it's like somewhere.
I go through
she's
waves.
Good.
I go through waves.
She's good. We'll
She
go.
is. Yeah, I'm excited.
She's amazing. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so like I guess so now you're friends with her and
Yeah.
you know, you might hang out with them in the
Absolutely.
Hamptons this summer.
Oh, for sure.
I
wanna see
really
that
think
happen.
I'm really thinking that you would be good on Summer House if
Yeah?
this whole yeah. I mean, they've already the new season's here.
Understood.
But this summer
Moving forward.
I'm just let me make a mental note of
Okay.
this.
Plant the seed.
Listen, this is what I do. I'm sensing something here.
Okay.
So like where do you want as we wrap up, like where do you want all this to go?
That's a great question. And I don't know. And I think part of the fun is just like whatever happens, happens. I know it won't lead to a future in like the CIA because you can't have someone that was like pretending to be a spy all of a sudden be a spy.
Right. Like I don't think like this isn't like, you know, I don't know. Like you went on, you know, American Idol and you won and now you're a singer.
Exactly.
Right.
Not how this works.
You could go to the CIA. You'd probably have a
But
long
cover
road ahead of you.
is very blown.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah, so I don't think you have any future as a spy.
Unless
And by the way, the girl judge is fucking
Evie,
I love her.
amazing.
Listen,
Amazing.
I am one of those, like, I'm that gay. Like, I think there's two types of gays. There's either gays that, like, truly, I know there's a lot of gays that I know that I'm, like, that just want to be around other gay men.
Sure.
There are. I am the opposite.
Yeah.
I am the gay that, like, I will always choose the woman over the
Okay.
man. Like, my friends are, like, I'm always happy when I have a new straight male friend. It's always like, but believe it or not, I have more straight male friends than gay male friends. But women.
See, same. I have more gay male friends than straight male friends.
Real.
Yeah.
Because I think, yeah.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, it actually makes sense to me.
I think
believe
it
or
does
not.
too.
There's like a certain jealousy. Like it's a too much.
Sure.
Like, you know, like I always have issues with
I don't
gay
want to
men,
be
and I'm
interested in the same
yeah,
person.
I'm like,
that
I don't have
know.
time for this. And
I agreed.
but women, like, there's a reason why I'm friends with the housewives. Like it
Right.
makes, like it logically makes sense to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just, these women that just want to drink and have fun. I'm like, sign me
Same.
up. But so, all right, so you're not going to be a spy, but where else do you want it to go possibly?
It's a really good question. I mean,
Other reality TV.
I think I'm at a place where like I'm open to whatever comes my way. I didn't go into this thinking, oh God, I hope this leads to a career in TV film or a career in reality
Right.
TV or a career in, you know, obviously not, but espionage.
Right.
It was just a cool experience, an opportunity that came up, and I'm trying to do my best of, you know, not having any regrets. And it's so much easier to say, oh, wow, I wish I hadn't done that than, ooh, what could have been if I had said yes?
Totally.
And this was just on that list.
Totally.
And it's a new experience. I've learned a lot very quickly. And I think more than anything, it was a chance for me to sort of showcase what I'm all about. And, you know, you kind of get to write your own narrative in a way.
That's true.
Which is very rewarding.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, well, let me tell you something.
Please.
You need to come back on
I'm
the
in.
show.
Let's do it.
Like, we can talk about other topics.
Yeah.
Like, this was...
Let's give a few more episodes of Spy Games.
Yes.
And then
I agree. I agree. Because, like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
So, like, let's...
We can debrief that and dive deeper into whatever else you
yeah.
want to.
Trust me, I'll have other
can't
topics
wait.
for you.
I can't wait.
You don't have to know anything. You just have to be here. But we'll get...
Hey,
we'll go
I'll
ahead.
be here. I'm an open book for
I'm going to
you.
have my people call your people,
Let them
which is
know.
really me calling your people.
Great.
And I really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
This was great.
It was fun.
And just remember,
Yes.
Colin,
Tell me.
there are so many nights that I personally want to stay home and I want to pour myself a bath.
Yeah.
I want to read a book. I definitely want to light candles.
Yeah.
I want to order the pizza that we talked about. And all I really want to do is watch my Bravo shows and sleep. But you
Okay.
know what? I put on my big girl pants
Yeah.
and I force
What do you do?
myself out the door. You know why?
Why?
Because I, David Yontef, can best serve all of you listeners behind the velvet rope. Oh, and before we go, where can we find you online? Even though you like to limit it for 20 minutes a day.
No, I'm doing better about that. I
Okay.
promise. I'm trying to engage more.
So where can we all find you?
All of my socials are just my name, Colin Hutzler.
That's easy. And are you on Cameo?
I'm not. Honestly, I have like the Facebook and the Snapchat. I rarely use those.
I might have to get you on Cameo.
Instagram,
You know, you can make some
Instagram's
money.
the go-to for me.
You know, you can make money on Cameo.
Really?
We'll talk about it
Okay,
off
we'll
air.
talk.
No, I mean, it's not a lot, but
So
it's
I've
like,
been waiting.
it's free money.
No, I've been waiting for someone above the age of like 14 or 15 to convince me why I should care about Cameo.
Okay. Okay, well,
I feel the same way about TikTok.
TikTok.
Tell me why.
Okay, let me say two things before we go. TikTok take it and throw it in the garbage. Give it 6 months.
Is it not the same as Vine? What changed?
There's no point to
Okay,
TikTok. Great. No point. It will be over in 6 months. Okay. You heard it here first. Cameo, whether you like it or not, you can make $1 by like just opening your eyes in the morning. So we have to talk.
I'm down.
This is like, you're an entrepreneur.
And if I can reach people and make someone happy, like I'm in.
We're going to talk after
Sign me
this.
up. Okay.
And for me, you can find me at David Yontef, or you can book me on Cameo, and maybe you can book Colin soon on Cameo.
Together? We can be a Cameo team?
Yes. As we apply to, and then when we apply to The Amazing Race, we can say, see our cameos, and that's what you guys
Where's your application? It's on Cameo.
Cameo, listen, is going to change your life. But seriously, you need to come back. This was awesome.
I'm in, 100%.
Okay. And guys, thank you for listening.
Thanks
Check out Spy Games every Monday.
Monday nights at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
10 Eastern.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. That was great.
That was fun.
It was great.